You're on the air with Florenza, your podcast destination for authentic conversations with a twist. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and join me on this unique literary journey. Cheers!
Get ready to unravel the clues with Bianca Marais, best-selling author and master of wit, as she takes us inside her newest delight, a most puzzling murder. This irresistible mystery will have you guessing, laughing, and racing to the last page. Tune in for all the behind-the-scenes secrets. Put your hands together and welcome Bianca to the show. Thank you so much, Bianca, for joining me on this episode of On the Air with Florenza. I'm so excited about the questions that I have for you. I'm just ready to jump in. But before we do, as is my tradition, we are going to toast to a fantastic show. And I have, wait, now lift your glass up just a little bit. Oh, that is wicked. That is wicked,
It's
wicked.
from Game of Thrones, so I thought it was apt for the book. There we go.
And what's in that glass, may I ask?
It is water, unfortunately. If you got me slightly later, Florenza, it would be wine, but I've still got three essays to write, so it's unfortunately water.
It is water, wink, wink, but
Yeah.
so I made my own little
Ooh.
on the air with Florenza mugs, and even though it's a coffee mug, it actually is a glue vine. So it got a little
Ooh.
chilly today in Ohio, so I have a little hot glue vine. So cheers.
Cheers.
Mm,
Cheers.
that is so good. Okay. I just started a new segment of show called Intermissions, and it's going to be some true or false questions that I am going to ask you. This part gets pulled out from the entire interview just so we could run it as a little commercial type deal. And I have some great true or false for you. I'm going to take off my cool little glasses because these are my driving glasses. And I really can't see my paper. So are you ready?
I'm ready for you.
I'm ready to actually. True or oh, and I do not know the answer. So I'm going to guess and then you tell me if I'm right or wrong. And lately I've
Okay.
been getting them all wrong. So hopefully I can fix my score here. True or false? You once trained as a professional code breaker. I'm going to say that's true. You look like you're just beautiful, bright, and sassy.
That is the best compliment ever. I think if I wasn't a writer, that's what I would have wanted to do. So that's unfortunately false, but I wish it was true.
Okay, I told you I've been getting them wrong, but that's a good one to get wrong, though. Okay,
Yeah.
true or false? Destiny's Whip's name was inspired by a real historical figure. Now, I thought it was inspired by Cool Whip, which is one of my favorite condiments, but I'm going to say that's, dang on it, I don't know a real Destiny Whip. So I'm going to say true, just because.
No, that's false. I actually can't even tell you what it was inspired by because sometimes it feels like these characters sidle up to me at a bar and they just whisper their names.
Yes.
So she whispered her name. I don't know where it came from, but I love the Cool Whip thing. I might steal that for future reference.
Listen, if you're going to get it wrong in styles. Okay, true or false?
Exactly.
True or false? The book contains at least five hidden Easter egg referencing other mystery novels. Man, I'm going with true again. Let's just roll with true.
I mean, that could be true. Maybe I'm just so bad as an author that I didn't keep track of these things. Now you're going to keep me up tonight, Florenza, going through the book to find them. I mean, she does reference other ones, and I mean, let's just go with true. Let's just say it's probably true.
That is
Probably
the
true.
best
Boom.
pity, sympathy truth I've ever got. This is what happens when a Capricorn is with a Gemini. Give me a point. I don't mind. Okay,
Here we
true
go.
or false? You plotted the entire story after you designed all the puzzles. Ooh. I'm going to say, oh my, the eyebrows went up and you're kind of nodding. Are you helping me? Are you helping me? Mm, no, yes, no. False.
That is false. Well done, because I do not plot anything. This was a closed room murder mystery, which
Okay.
I wrote without plotting a single thing, because if I know what's going to happen in the story, I have no desire to write it. So you
See,
are
yes.
completely right.
I have spoken with some of the mastermind plotters of all plotters, like Dan Brown, and he talked about how he plots, and some of the others. And I'm looking at all these books over here. I wish I could. Every time I try, I get bored, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want. I don't. Well, I already know. So no, don't.
Same.
Yeah. So okay.
Same. Like, I write to find out what's going to happen. So if I plot, I'm like, well, I already know what's going to happen. So what's the point?
Yeah. See. Okay. All right. So I got that one right. And let's see. Last one. There's a secret alternate ending hidden somewhere in the book's text. Uh, That has to be true.
That is true. That is true. This is a book where you get a lot of choices. And so you get to choose your own ending because, quite honestly, Florenza, I'm sick of uh, readers emailing me at 3 a.m. about my other books going, I did not like your ending. And now I'm like, but if you didn't like the ending, it's because you made a bad decision. This is on you. This is not on me.
This is on you. And we're going
Yeah.
to talk some more about that because I am absolutely fascinated with this genre. You are like the fourth person this week that I've heard it, referenced. And I just want to dive right in to learn a little bit more. So we are talking about your book, A Most Puzzling Murder. And in the intro, yes, and oh my gosh, I love the cover. I love the cover. Got the little puzzle piece. Hold that back up again. I want to get like ooh, little puzzle piece going. We've got the little death face there. We've got is that a cat at the top? What am I?
It's cats,
And a
two cats
dog,
that are
two cats.
important to the story. No, two cats. And yeah, this is like the Scruffmore family crest. You can see
Mm,
they clearly are delightful people.
nice. Nice. So I have I told you before we came on, like the absolute best questions. I'm so thrilled to jump in. Before I do, I gave some information about you and the book in the intro, but tell us a little bit about you and what really inspired you you told us you were tired of people emailing you about not liking the answer. Listen, all for that. Maybe I'm going to do that to my husband, tell him to, never mind, different show. Uh, Tell us what inspired you to take this creative path.
Yeah, so I am originally from South Africa, grew up there, left South Africa when I was in my late 30s, moved to Toronto. I have always loved reading. From the second I understood the magic of rearranging letters into creating meaning and worlds in our minds, I started writing. I wrote my first book when I was 7. I stole it completely from Enid Blyton, but that doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Um,
matter.
doesn't matter. We'll move past that. I don't think she's going to sue. It's fine. Um, and I just loved writing. And I was lucky enough to have the best English teachers who like encouraged that creativity. And it was only, I got my debut novel published when I was in my early 40s because I didn't really take it very seriously. It's
Hmm.
something I did on the side. And then when I came to Canada, I decided to study writing, to stop assuming that because I speak English and
Yes.
write emails and read that I can write. And I studied writing and then I came out with my debut novel. But here's the thing, Florenza, I cannot stay in one lane.
Yes.
My first two novels were book club, sort of literary fiction about South Africa, apartheid in South Africa, and the onset of the AIDS pandemic in South Africa. Then I pivoted to the Witches of Moonshine Manor, which was about six women, witches in their 80s, bringing down the patriarchy. And then I decided to write a closed room murder mystery. So it's a bit all over the place, but I have a lot of fun with it.
Nice. Okay. When I tell you, Bianca, that I am so ready to jump into these questions, I feel like I am at my favorite restaurant and I happen to look up and see all my favorite foods and I don't know which to sample first. So if I start getting really giddy, it's because I cannot wait. Like, I'm going to ask a question, but just real talk. I'm really ready for like the second, the third, and the fourth too. So we're going to
Can
jump
I
in.
can I ask a quick question? Are
Yes.
you the kind of eater who eats the favorite thing on the plate first, or do you leave the favorite item on the plate for last?
It depends on if I cooked it or someone else,
Ah,
but I can tell you this, I hate for my foods to touch, with
uh-huh.
the exception Thanksgiving, because that plate is usually full, everything is touching, and I just tell it, oops, scoot over, sorry, sorry. You know, I tell the
And the
macaroni and
gravy's
cheese.
everywhere as well. I love that.
Everywhere.
I love
Yes,
it.
I'm a gravy
Okay.
girl too. Yes.
Yeah.
So, if you were stranded on Erie Island with only one Scruffmore family member, who would you choose and who would you definitely avoid?
Oh, that's so good. I would probably choose Hexabus. She is the matriarch of the family. She is Mordecai's ex-wife, and she doesn't take any nonsense from anybody.
Uh-huh.
She's just fierce and fabulous, and I love her. She would scare me a little bit, but I would do everything she told me to do. I'd let her boss me around a bit. I think the one that I'm most terrified of is Minx. She
Mm.
is one of Mordecai's daughters from his second wife, Newton. And she's a bit of a sociopath. She's pretty scary, so I would try and avoid her.
What was it like creating Minx? Did you fear her? Did you tell her when you were creating her that she could only speak to you during the day? Or did she try to sneak up and have a conversation with you in the night hours just because she knew that she terrified you?
My characters don't listen to me at all, Florenza. It is insane. They don't listen at all. It's like herding cats. They will come up to me and talk to me when they want to. And
Uh-huh.
if that's 1 a.m. during a panic attack, if that's 3 a.m., if that's in the afternoon, my poor husband says that it takes us 4 hours to watch a half an hour TV show because as we sit down to watch it, one of my characters will be like, "Hey, let me tell you about this time I did this." And then he thinks I've gone to the bathroom. And an hour later, he's like, "Are you okay?" Meantime, I'm in my office because I have to get this stuff down. So, yeah, Minx has no respect for boundaries, but neither do any of my characters. They don't get boundaries.
Love that answer. So Destiny Whip has to solve a murder before it happens. And I learned that her name in the intermissions segment, I learned that her name was not created because of Cool Whip, my favorite condiment. Um, if you were given a 24-hour warning of a murder in your life, your own life, what clues would you look for first?
Oh my word, that's so interesting. It's so difficult because I guess what you need to know is who's going to get murdered, right? That's
Mhm.
the most important thing is who's going to get murdered. And then I guess you've got to figure out the motive of the person murdering them. Um, I mean, there's so much. It's like, where is the murder going to happen? Like, my brain's exploding right now. I hope that never happens to me. But clues can be found in the most unusual places. People let slip with things. And
Yes.
and the thing that I love about Destiny, she's so observant. She notices things that other people don't. She looks at body language. She looks at facial tics. She looks at verbal cues. And so she's constantly someone reading between the lines, and that's where she gets most of her clues from. Things that other people aren't even paying attention to. I am not that observant. I've been known to see a friend who's like had a complete haircut or changed their hair from like black to red or has got like something completely different and I don't even notice it. So I'm terribly unobservant. So I probably won't be able to solve a murder. I hope none of my friends are going to be the people getting killed because I ain't coming to save you. I'm sorry.
If Destiny were to tell us her zodiac sign, what would it be?
Oh, she would definitely be a Capricorn like me. She's someone who is a bit of a control freak. She needs all the answers to everything. She's not good with uncertainty. So I think she would be a Capricorn. I need to go back and check my notes and actually check if she is a Capricorn because she's also a seer. She's also
Yes.
psychic, which means, Capricorns are a bit too practical
Yeah.
for that. So Geminis are
Yes, that's
a bit
me.
more creative, right?
Yes.
Maybe
We
she's a
are
Gemini.
seers. And
Yeah,
everything,
maybe she's a Gemini.
and we see everything. We may not say it, but please know we saw it and we registered it, and it will come back later. So,
Yeah.
what's the most puzzling part of writing a mystery with actual puzzles inside? And did you ever trip yourself up?
There were so many moving parts with this book that at times it felt like juggling with jello. It was just things were flying, they were sticking against the wall. I was scraping them off, I was trying to get them back. It was incredibly difficult because you want the puzzles for the reader to solve alongside Destiny Whip. So they are solving the puzzles. They can email her for clues. She emails them back. It's very interactive, but you don't want to slow down the actual forward momentum of the plot
Yeah.
so that the puzzles make everything stop. So the puzzles have to add to the story and sort of propel the story forward. I am very good at word puzzles.
Uh-huh.
I am good at word scrambles and pangrams and Wordle. I am terrible at math, terrible at math. So my husband had to come in and help me with all the math puzzles.
Uh-huh. Nice, nice. If you were to hide a secret passage in your own home, where would it lead and what would you hide at the end of it?
I am someone with a very weak bladder. And so I am up multiple times a night to go to the bathroom. So I would have like as many secret passages that get me as quickly to the that get me to the bathroom as quickly as possible. And there would probably be bathrooms throughout. In terms of something else, probably like cupcakes or something, a treat or something, right?
Ooh, are you a sweet girl? You
Ooh.
love sweets?
I actually don't. I'm more savory. I'm thinking cheese and wine, but I'm like wondering if I can have a cheese and wine room. Ooh, a cellar with really good wines and some nice
Yes,
cheeses. Yes,
yes.
I
Count me
solved it.
in.
We solved it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I am all for that, and I will help
I'm
to
expecting you
contribute.
to be waiting. I'm expecting
Yes,
you to be waiting in there when I come
yes.
and
The
find
bottles
you.
will be empty, but I will be waiting. Honey, do not put me near alcohol. That's all I'm going to say. Which famous literary detective, real or fictional, would you most love to pit destiny against in a battle of wits?
Wow. Well, there is a lesser known South African detective. His name was Piet Bielefeld. He has unfortunately passed away, but he solved the most incredible crimes in South Africa. If anybody wants to look him up, he was a mastermind. They even brought him to the FBI for him to train people there on his methods. And I was a bit obsessed with him and his cases in South Africa. So I think the two of them would really get along. I think he was a big smoker, which would bug Destiny, so she might make him sit outside
Uh-huh.
as he smoked while they solved the cases, but I think they would enjoy each other.
Ooh, I would love to see some type of book or just even a short with the two of them in there. That would be great. Imagine you wake up as a character inside your own book. What's the first thing you do to survive the day?
Oh my word. I mean, here is the thing. As authors, when we create our characters, we create them to torment them.
Yes.
Our job as authors is to torture our characters. So
Yes.
if I woke up as a character in my own book, I'd be freaking the hell out because I would be like, I am not going to have a good day. This day is going to fall to shit very soon. And I would just be like, I need to get the hell out of here before this woman wakes up and ruins everything for me.
I love that answer. I love it. Now, did you ever write a character you secretly wanted to kill off, but couldn't bring yourself to do it?
Ah, I think I have. I think in previous books I have. There was one character who I had to kill. And that's also what people email me about at 3 a.m. yelling at me, like, how could you do that? How could you do that? And I'm like, I'm a writer. We need to kill our darlings.
Yes.
But one thing I could never do in a book is kill an animal. It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
people can die and that's fine, and they've made bad decisions that led them to this point, and that's on them. But if you read any of our books, no animal will die.
Yes. Oh, that's sweet. What puzzle or riddle in the book was the hardest for you to craft, and which one are you the most proud of?
Ooh, you know what? I can tell you that. Wait, I have to actually try and find it. My husband put this one puzzle together, and he put it together in a circle that's got a codex. I actually can't find it now, but he is so proud of the circle that
Uh-huh.
every time somebody writes on Goodreads that they love the puzzles, he goes, did they mention the circle with the codex?
Oh,
So that is certainly his proudest moment. So I really want to give him kudos for that and say that that is the one. Uh, um, but in terms of mine, I mean, it's difficult to say. There is an Einstein's riddle where it requires a process of elimination, but again, my husband's going to take credit for that. You see, he's going to take credit for all my best work. So I think what I love is that I've given it's not really choose your own adventure chapters because
uh-huh.
choose your own adventure changes the course of the whole book. I wanted to inspire critical thinking skills and give philosophical thought experiments. So I have a whole bunch of those, and those I'm incredibly proud of because I can take full credit for those without my
Uh-huh.
husband stealing credit for them.
Although he's in the background saying, want to bet?
Yeah, yeah.
If a most puzzling murder were turned into a movie, who would you cast as Destiny and the most diabolical Scruffmore?
Ooh. So Donald Sutherland is who I imagined as Mordecai Scruffmore. That I've even had like a picture done of him with that sort of widow's peak.
Uh-huh.
His fringe is described as a wave about to crest. For Destiny, it's really tough because she is a plus-sized character. It was very important to me to have plus-size representation. She has wild red hair that's in curls. She's really pale. She has lots of freckles. So there isn't anybody who I saw who I could say that was definitely Destiny. It would be interesting though to see who they would come up with.
Nice. What's the most wicked fun moment you had while writing this story? Something that made even you gasp or laugh hysterically.
So I loved the
Wait,
interactions
I
between
love how fast you answered that. It's just like your whole face lit up. You were just like, sister, let me tell you.
this was so much fun. So I had Mordecai's ex-wife, Hexabus, and his current wife, Newton, have a few interactions. And it's like I refer to having ex-wives and current wives interactions being like vinegar and milk. They tend to curdle.
Yes.
And so they have these battle of the wits. But pretty much Hexabus tells Newton that she comes into the battle of the wits unarmed because she isn't as bright as Hexabus is. And Hexabus just cuts her down. Every time she comes at her, she cuts her down. And I was giggling so much. I had so much fun with that.
Do you find that as you are creating those one-liners and those little zanies, that even you look around and it's like, where the hell did I get that?
Yeah, all the time. You know what? When my characters are super witty or they're really cutting or they'll come up with something, and I know that it comes from deep inside my brain, but it feels like magic. It doesn't feel like it comes from in my brain. It feels
Uh-huh.
like I'm channeling somebody else who's telling me these things, and it's my favorite part of writing is that unexpected, magic of it.
Talk to us about the names of your characters because all of them are absolutely in a whole entire world of their own. Were there names that you had considered and they just didn't make it, or did you find that the characters were like, yeah, no, that is not my name. This is my name.
Yeah, again, they're very opinionated. These characters are very opinionated. And this world is like a fantasy world. The Scruffmores are a form of magical monarchy where everybody's a prince or a princess and they're vying for dominance. And because of the magical world, I could have a lot of fun with the names. So things like Hexabus, Newton, Minx, Angel, Darius, Bramble. I think the most normal name was Evangeline, and Destiny because she's a seer, it was Destiny. So
Hmm.
I found that their names very much defined them. I think I changed one name throughout the whole book, and that was Minx, and her twin sister was originally called Blue. I don't know why she was called Blue. She told me it was Blue, but
Uh-huh.
then my editor said it's too confusing. You need to come up with a name that encapsulates her character. And since the one was Minx, the other one was Angel.
Nice. I love that. Was there a point in the book that you were so surprised that you even had to step away and say, I cannot believe I am the creator of this?
Yeah, it happens often because here's the thing about, they say writers are plotters or pantsers. And I'm a pantser. I fly by the seat of my pants. And so finding out who the murderer was a complete shock to me. I
Uh-huh.
thought this person was like a tertiary character, and suddenly they did something super dodgy that the Gemini would notice and be like,
Yes.
I've
Uh-huh.
clocked that. And then I realized that they were the murderer, and I was completely shocked. And there were things that happened near the end as well, when one character revealed something big, and I was like, oh, I did not see that coming. So I feel like if, as a writer, you're surprised, hopefully your readers will be surprised as
Yeah.
well. But my characters surprise me all the time, all the time. They're like misbehaving children that, you expect them to be like you because they're born of you, but
Uh-huh.
they're like, woman, please. I have my own personality and I'm my own person.
What has been the oddest um kudos or review or words of praise from your family with not just this book, but any of your other books as well?
They say that if you want to get a lot of compliments or have your family be very proud of you, don't become a writer.
Amen. Listen, yes, yes.
My mother once told me she wasn't going to buy my second book because they don't have a bookshelf. So, I don't expect a lot of compliments from family. We don't write for family,
Yes.
but I did have a random person on the internet call me a genre jumping genius, and that did make me want to tattoo that on my forehead. So I will take that.
Oh, honey, yes. Yes, I got like tattoos different places. That one, that is a great. Listen, that should be your signature block. Genre
Right.
jumping genius. Very, very nice.
I know I'm gonna have business cards made and be like,
Yes.
here, I'm a genre jumping genius.
Mm, yes, and put a little sass on that. Where are the listeners able to connect with you and just follow you and engage with you?
Right. So I run a podcast called The Shit No One Tells You About Writing. It's It's aimed at helping emerging authors get published. So if you are a emerging author, you can connect with us there. I'm on Instagram there. I'm on Instagram under Bianca Marais Author. I'm on Facebook as Bianca Marais Author, and I'm on Threads as well. And all the people who email me at 3 a.m. have apparently figured out how to find my email address as well. So there's that too.
Nice. So, what's new? What's coming up? I know that the release of this book is just freshly off the press. Are you already working on that next great thing?
I should be much further along with the next great thing than what I am. And so I'm really feeling the pressure for that. For that, I'm going back to my roots. It's book club fiction, literary fiction again. And those characters are getting very impatient. They are starting to tap their wristwatches and be like, it's time you sat down with us. So
Yes.
that is definitely where my focus is going to be.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions in terms of because of the different genres. Do your other characters get impatient? Are they like, jilted lovers, or do they sabotage you and jump in front of the characters and say, no, you're not going to get her time tonight. This is my night, baby. Step aside.
I love that. They do try and lure me into cheating. They are often like, look over here, look how attractive I am. I think you should come and spend some time with me.
Wink,
So
wink.
they are, yeah, yeah, wink, wink. And then they sit on a lounger with some wine and a bunch of grapes. And they were like, I will feed you these grapes. So they know how to lure me across. But yeah, it is difficult to just stay in one lane when you have so many ideas. Like I hear other writers talk about, like just not knowing what to write, and for me it's having way too many ideas.
Yeah,
Like I do not get writer's block. I
yeah,
have writer's tsunami.
yeah, yeah. The same. And you're just like, oh my gosh, what do I do next? I love this. So we've come to the part of our show where I just kind of hit you with some rapid fire questions. They're just designed to have fun, not a whole lot of thought into them. And again, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. But you are the genre jumping genius. So I think you got
Pivot, how
this.
can pivot?
Yes. Pen or pencil?
Pencil.
Mm. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Solve a riddle or crack a code?
Solve a riddle.
Nice. Stormy night in a castle or a sunny day on a beach?
Stormy night in a castle every day of the week.
Every day. Yes. Tea with Miss Marple or cocktails with Hercule Poirot?
Cocktails.
Yes.
Definitely the cocktails. Yeah.
And I think I butchered his name, so my bad.
Doesn't matter. Cocktails with that dude.
Plot twist you love or secret plot twist you love, secret twin or hidden wheel?
Plot twist I love.
Yes. If your pet could talk, what's the first thing it would tell us about you?
Oh, it would say that I stop it from sending emails. It wants to send a ton of emails and I keep getting it off my laptop. I'm trying to figure out what it's trying to send. Probably an SOS to somebody.
If your life had a theme song every time you entered a room, what would it be?
Oh Lord, probably Annie Lennox's Walking on Broken Glass.
That's a good one. I like last question.
Or
What's
or the bitch is back. The bitch is back. Elton John's The Bitch is Back.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And then just make sure that they put genre jumping genius bitch.
Bitch is back. Yeah, I love that.
What's something that you have never been asked that were you to be asked, you would absolutely love to answer?
Oh, that's a difficult one because I have so many people in my life who like have no boundaries. They will ask anything. I have friends who will just say the craziest things and ask the craziest things. So I'm trying to think if there is a question that people have asked. or haven't asked that I'd like them to. I honestly can't think of one. I'm
So
sorry.
then with your non-boundary friends, new term to non-binary, non-boundary friends,
Not boundary friends.
what's the craziest thing one of them asked you?
Oh my word. I mean, they have asked all kinds of things. I actually can't tell you on the show. I will tell you after the show. I will tell you about a conversation we had 2 nights ago that is not fit for public consumption, but I will tell you after the show.
Listen, stay tuned. I'll get the skinny people and I'll give you the PG version. Thank you so much, Bianca. This was so much fun.
This was amazing. I loved it. Thank you so much.
And this wraps up another episode of On the Air with Florenza. You may follow me on all social media platforms under Florenza Lee or via my website at florenza.org. Until next time, cheers.